Master, are you sure about going along with this woman's plan? Helania asked her. Han was sitting in the library, enjoying a smoothie that the chef made for him. The banana and strawberry really mixed well. Since he preferred more banana in his smoothies, it went down really well. He appreciated having a kitchen that would make any type of food he required. Looking at Brittany, he could see that she was getting frustrated at his lack of concern over this. They all worried too much about his safety, though compared to the alternative, it felt nice having people that cared for him. There is nothing that they can do to me. I understand that you are all worried, but there is no reason to be, he said soothingly. Even if Master is unable to be hurt, I still do not care to think of someone trying to hurt you, Queen chimed in. Resting his elbow on the arm of the leather chair and placing his head on his hand, he pondered as he sipped his smoothie through a straw. Aside from Helania, who will be busy, I will be taking all of you with me. This should help alleviate any concerns you are having. He tried to lessen their concern. All of them sighed in relief, happy that they will be there to look after him. He looked forward to seeing what the trip would be like, and if it would be anything like his first school trip, or worse. The days flew by fast. He looked in on those working in the city and answered any issues that came up. Before he knew it, the day to depart for the trip had already arrived. Looking at the overcast sky, Han wondered if it would rain during this adventure. He enjoyed the rain, but that was when he was inside. There was nothing like listening to the rain while one or two of the girls were cuddling up against him. I hope you didn't wait for us long, Celine called out to him, with Lydia walking behind her sister. Han waved back to her, thinking it was good to invite those two. With their skill, this trip would be a great experience, and as long as nothing major came up, they could improve their combat skills. Having Lydia along with them would also be a benefit, considering her healing abilities. Compared to when he first met them, her skills have become decent. Instead of only being able to heal minor injuries, Lydia could now heal cuts and stab wounds. So, where is the princess? Celine asked after greeting his companions. Each of his companions had met and got to know Celine and Lydia, so they had what could be considered a mild friendship. There is some time before they're supposed to be here, he pointed out. Brittany, your outfit is so cute, Lydia exclaimed, complimenting Brittany's battle garment. Smiling and showing off the light blue and dark purple outfit, Brittany was sporting a short skirt, with a halter neck that exposed her belly and mainly covered the front of her breast with the cleavage showing. With Brittany's ability, she didn't need to wear any armor or carry weapons. A couple of seconds was all she needed to be battle ready, and even without the armor, she was still strong. Thank you. Master said I looked sexy. She blushed, using both hands to cover her cheeks. Must be nice to have all these ladies around you, Celine rolled her eyes at Han. Compared to all of his companions, Celine seemed to bond closest with Brittany, likely due to the age similarity. The two of them would often go shopping together, and go outside the city and enjoy the surroundings. With Celine primarily dealing with close combat magic, it helped to train with Brittany. Lydia seemed to get along with everyone, though she was initially very shy and stuck close to her sister. Often, Lydia would visit his home to spend time with his companions. She enjoyed the food that his chefs prepared, which was probably a contributing factor. Han noticed the group approaching them, with the princess in front. Behind her were several adventurers, looking ready for whatever came their way. When the adventurers came close, Han noticed someone familiar. In addition to the adventurers, Ellie appeared to have brought along some servants and guards. Several of her servants and guards were driving several wagons, which all of them were likely to use to travel to the ruins. When they approached Han and everyone, Ellie started to organize everyone and assign who would be in which wagon. "How have you been since the last time I saw you, Celestra?" Han asked. Celestra blushed and looked at her feet, mumbled, "I have been well." "How have you been, E?" "I heard that you recently became an A-rank adventurer. That is pretty impressive. It makes me feel safer knowing that I'll be guarded by someone as qualified as yourself," Han said to her, enjoying the reaction that was being generated. "You are teasing me, E," she complained, still looking shy. "How could I tease an A-rank adventurer with such skills?" he continued. Walking up to her, he used his index finger to lift her chin up so he could look into her eyes. "It really is good to see you, Celestra. I did not know that you would be part of the party that would be escorting us, so I am pleasantly surprised," he whispered. "I'm happy to see you too, E," Celestra answered, her cheeks reddening. Looking to see the wagons that Ellie had rented for this trip, he said to Celestra, "Instead of traveling in those wagons, how about you travel with me?" "Okay," she stated in a quiet voice. A young man came up to Han and stated, "Celestra is part of our party. As a team lead, I won't tolerate you making unilateral decisions." Not letting his eyes leave Celestra's eyes, Han asked, "Who is this uncouth man? Judging by his reaction, he seems to be your lover. I hope I am not stepping over a line, interacting with you so intimately." No, he is just my team lead," she stammered, her eyes wide with worry that Han had misunderstood the situation. "Then let me lead you to where you will be accompanying me," he soothed her fears. He brushed back her hair and slid his hand to her back and guided her. Walking to an open area and waving his hand, he created an open carriage. The carriage seemed to be made out of a beautiful tree, appearing as if it was still alive. It was similar looking to what elves in video games would be riding on. In front of the carriage was Andrea, who was always in charge of driving Han around. With her long dark hair and expressionless look, she looked like a cool beauty. Bowing to Han, Andrea said, "As the moon is present, whether during the day or night sky, I am always here to serve Master." "It is good to see you again, Andrea. We'll be traveling towards some ruins, so I'll be relying on your services again," he commanded. "I am here only to serve," she quietly stated. Opening up the half door, she waited until both Han and Celestra had boarded. For his companions, he summoned 2 death horses for Brittany and Queen to ride on. These creatures were something he experimented on when he was looking for an animal that would be as useful as a horse but without its shortcomings. Merging a horse with a dragon and making it into an undead creature, this meant that the death horse was a being that resembled a horse but had the strength and endurance of a dragon and undead creature. Both of the Jungle Sisters, with their natural abilities, didn't require an animal to sit on and would keep pace with the carriage. For Celine and Lydia, he summoned strong horses for them to ride on. Compared to horses they have received from the academy, his creations were more mild-tempered and obedient, which was better for the 2 of them. As the 2 of them relaxed in the carriage, the wagon that the princess was riding on approached them. "I am always amazed by your ability to summon items that you need. They are always of such high quality, which makes me curious about your background." Ellie tried to gather information from Han. "You are looking at a humble boy from a modest background. I purely wish for this lady to have a relaxing journey," he said while holding Celestra's hand. "Maybe I shall accompany the 2 of you," Ellie coolly said. Gently shaking his head, Han said, "Princess, you are leading this expedition. How would it look for the financier to be in a better position than the help that they hired?" He phrased it in such a way that conveyed his concern over this matter. Ellie looked at Han with an expression that said that she knew what he was doing. Shrugging her shoulders to say that she would not meddle any longer, she instructed, "E, considering that I know the way to the ruins, I will be leading the way there. Use your servants to inform me if there's anything you need. I plan to stop just before evening, where we will make camp and eat." "I will obey the princess's wishes," Han bowed his head. Snorting, Ellie instructed the driver to continue ahead. Behind the wagon that had the princess along with several of the adventurers, another wagon passed by, containing all their supplies. This one was a larger wagon and was being driven by the man that approached Han earlier. The team leader of the adventurer group threw daggers with his eyes at Han, seeing Celestra sitting so close to Han and giving off an intimate atmosphere.